What if the brightest smile in Dandy's world was actually hiding one of the darkest fears? Glisten may look confident, even perfect. But behind that mirror trick and constant laughter is a Toon full of secrets, insecurities, and a twisted form that reveals his true pain. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a closer look at Glisten. His surprising origins as a "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" OC, his unique stats and abilities, the hidden notes in roleplay mode, and the heartbreaking details that explain why Twisted Glisten is one of the saddest transformations in the entire game. Glisten isn't a main Toon, but he managed to stand out from the very beginning. He became the second side Toon to ever reach a perfect 5 in a stat, right after Scraps. Others like Gigi, Connie, Yada, and Blot would later join that list, but Glisten was already there, proving his strength. When it comes to extraction speed, he shares the 2-star skill check with Astro, Connie, Flight, and Sprout, but unlike them, his extraction speed is much higher, reaching 1.50, above Sprout at 0.85, and even higher than Astro at 1.00. So even if he doesn't look the toughest, he's actually one of the best Toons when speed is crucial. His ability is another example of this duality. It works similar to Scrap's power, but Glisten doesn't need direct line of sight. At first, that sounds like an advantage, but it comes at a heavy cost. His cooldown is 4 times longer. He can't use the power on machines. And every time he activates Reflection, he gets the Confused to 3 debuff. This isn't just a random mechanic. The roleplay mode notes explain that his ability literally makes him dizzy, and even Roger teases him about it in dialogue. Once again, his shiny appearance hides a weakness. In fact, Glisten's entire name tells this story. To glisten means to reflect a sparkling light, like a mirror shining back at others. And that's exactly what he does. He reflects what people want to see, but never shows what he really feels. In his roleplay mode room, 2 details stand out. First, it's full of sweets, showing his love for candy. But more importantly, the room is filled with letters that expose his insecurities. In one, he admits to practicing his mirror trick until he gets dizzy, but says he hides it from the others so they won't think he's weak. In another, he writes, "I just wish everyone could see that I'm there at the best times." These little details reveal a Toon who, no matter how much he tries, still feels invisible. This need to look perfect and the fear of letting people down is exactly what fuels his twisted form. As Twisted Glisten, those insecurities explode. He stops pretending to be confident and becomes desperate for company. Most of his dialogue is begging not to be abandoned or crying when his loneliness meter fills. In a conversation with Toodles, he even gets defensive when told he cries, showing he still tries to protect his pride. Twisted Glisten is one of the rawest and most emotional portrayals in Dandy's world. But of course, he isn't always alone. He seems to be close to Razzle and Dazzle, as seen in both dialogue and one of his letters. On the other hand, he really dislikes Finn and his constant jokes, even writing, "I'm just happy it isn't Finn," in one note. He also has a strong connection to V. They share bows, cross their arms in idle animations, and even have the same extraction speed and stamina. In his room, there's a poster of V, making it clear he looks up to her. With clowns, though, including Louie's troupe, the connection is negative. He openly dislikes them, which might explain his tense dialogue with both Yada and Louie. Another interesting detail is how Glisten hides his stress. He often laughs in conversations, especially with Astro, Brightney, Cosmo, and others. But it isn't real joy. It's just a mask to cover insecurity. Sometimes he even slips into arrogance, bragging to hide his mistakes. Beyond this personality, he also has some fun quirks. He owns a wired microphone, shown in his info card and mentioned in dialogue with V. He was once the most expensive side Toon, until Blot took that title. He was also the first Toon to have 2 idle animations, checking his hand and adjusting his bow. Something that later spread to Bassie, Yada, Blot, and Razzle and Dazzle. And of course, there's the famous glitch, if multiple Glistens teleport to each other. The Confused 3 effects can stack, overloading him with debuffs. So while Glisten looks shiny, confident, and perfect, deep down he's one of the most fragile Toons in the game. Strong, fast, and stylish, but also insecure, lonely, and constantly afraid of being left behind. What do you think about Glisten? Do you feel sympathy for him, or do you think his perfectionism makes him harder to relate to? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more Toon Deep Dives coming soon.